We are the Shining Blade, true sons and daughters of Kryta who struggle to rid our homeland of the oppressive White Mantle regime and restore the Krytan monarchy. To understand who we are, you must first understand how the White Mantle seized control of our beloved Kryta. The White Mantle was a religious cult formed years ago by Saul D'Alessio, a drunk and a thief who preached the false doctrine of the Unseen Ones, his mysterious invisible masters. Saul the Deceiver delivered a false message of salvation during Kryta's darkest hour, when the Char invasion threatened our nation's survival. Saul led an army of white-robed followers against the Char, and after their victory on the battlefield, the White Mantle seized power. But the protection of the White Mantle came at a price. The cult became arrogant and abusive. The wealth of the land was held only by those who worshipped the Unseen Ones. Worst of all, each year Krytan citizens were chosen for special re-education and were never seen again. In truth, the White Mantle offered these ill-fated chosen as sacrificial victims to their demonic masters. In the wilds of Kryta, the patriot leader Evinia gathered unto her a loyal band of patriots. We called ourselves the Shining Blade and vowed to hack away at the corruption and decay that robbed Kryta of her greatness. The true nature of the White Mantle and the inhumane sorcerers they worshipped was exposed for all to see in a series of violent conflicts that left the Mantle High Council dead and the future of the cult in doubt. Today, the remnants of the White Mantle cling to power with a desperate, iron grip. Now is the time to strike. The Shining Blade will seat the rightful heir, Princess Salma, on the throne in Lion's Arch and restore the monarchy and justice to Kryta. The citizens of Kryta have rallied to our side. With their support, the strength of our steel and the courage of our convictions, Kryta will have a queen once again. The royalty of Kryta descend from King Doric, the first king of United Tyria. The royal line has continued uninterrupted for generations until the Great Char invasion, when the strength of Doric failed and King Jaden abandoned his throne. In the absence of a king, the White Mantle cult took control. Princess Salma, the only surviving descendant of the Doric line, is the rightful heir to the Krytan throne. She currently rules her loyal charges in exile, planning for the day when she can return to Lion's Arch and lift the yoke of oppression from the necks of her countrymen. Wow, that was one hell of a loading screen. Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Before we get into this, that lore I just read out, yeah, I know it was kind of a bit of a rehash of stuff I've already talked about before, but it gets a bit interesting at the end there. Don't you just love the idea of, you know how it says how King Jaden just sort of left? They never explain why he left or where he left. Well, they kind of explain why he left. He was just considered to be a weak king and he fled. But they never really explain the circumstances of him leaving that much. I love the, and I just thought of this while reading that out just now, I love the idea of maybe him having been kidnapped the same way that Saul was kidnapped, because we've got two characters here, right? Both of them insanely integral to how the White Mantle came to rise, right? Two things had to happen. One, there had to be a man to lead a new organisation that worshipped the Messart, and two, the existing organisation in charge of Kryta had to be stepped down. I love the idea of the White Mantle, of the Messart, sort of manipulating this themselves, and they specifically brought Saul to power and then kidnapped him and took him away. So he's a character now all mysterious and missing, and I love the idea that they did the same to the king. Like, they kidnapped the king and teleported him away. I love the idea that, like, right now, out there in the jungle somewhere, there is the ex-king of Kryta and Saul D'Alessio just sort of together in it. They'd both been abandoned or kidnapped by the Messart, and now they're just sort of alone out in the wilderness. I love that idea. That'd be such a cool plot, don't you think? That maybe they'd be there, and maybe that the Messart somehow can, I want to say, take them through time or something, just so we can experience that story in Guild Wars 2, maybe? But yeah, it just kind of hit me as I was reading that. I thought it was quite cool. Yeah, we're back here on Tom. This is quite cool, actually. I guess we will be seeing Tom in the War in Kryta, at least at the start, while we deal with these things here. So we got Thackeray coming over to Gwen once again. And I had so many comments from you guys last video. I didn't feel like I was doing anything that different, but everyone was like, oh, you were being so crazy yesterday. I felt like I was being mostly the same as I ever am, but yeah. So here's Thackeray. He says, hi, Gwen. She says, oh, damn it, Keiran, you startled me. Really? It's not like you were just over there staring at the portal for hours anyway. Lost in your thoughts? Yeah, I was thinking about Ascalon, my mother. Really, Gwen, I thought we settled this when we went to the underworld with you. Oh, what does it matter? Why are you here? I thought your squad already left for patrol. We're just leaving now, says Thackeray. I just wanted to say, so don't forget, he's got this patrol. He wanted to cure them of the hay fever and stuff, so that he could continue on. Yes, she says. I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks for the hay fever tea. My men really appreciated it. I appreciated it. Oh, Thackeray, you're so charming and awesome. Well, you're welcome. Was there anything else? No, we're going on a long-range sortie deep into the Dalada upland, so we won't be back for a few weeks. Hey, I've been there. I could go with you. I know that place like the back of my hand. Okay, well, good luck with that, says Gwen. Goodbye, Gwen. And she waves him goodbye. I think this could be, I can't remember 100%, but it feels like it could be. I think this could be another example of the update. Actually, I'm pretty sure this is actually an example of the updates taking a while in real time and it's reflected in the story. So Gwen whispers back, "May Dwayne protect you." So yeah, she's concerned about him. But yeah, this is I'm almost sure the more I think about it, the more I say it now. This happened. They did an update where Gwen and Keiran would sort of have a couple of discussions, these dialogues we've seen here, and then it was like a week or so until there was another update and they continued talking. So there was like a huge gap now between this and the next dialogue we'll see, which it can be very simply seen these days by zoning in the portal and then zoning back in from the Eye of the North, which we'll be doing probably at the end of the video or maybe the start of the next video. Not 100% sure yet. But yeah, so there you go. That's that little dialogue there. Kieran's off. He's off into a mission in the Char homelands, and we'll see what happens with that as time goes on. So I'm gonna go log on to Peter now, and we're gonna be doing the last MOX quest. Awesome. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so I suppose this is going to be another episode where we don't see Peter Redhill. Yeah, we're on Matt Greenspring because I literally relogged and went onto Peter and started filming, and then we got to Alona and I realised Peter Redhill's never been anywhere around Alona. Neither's Tom Bluewood, really. If you remember, that was mostly just I left it all to Matt Greenspring alone. So seeing as it's in Vabby, it would have taken me like all night to then walk all the way over on Peter. So I decided I'd just do it on Matt for this episode for the sake of this way I will actually have time to put it up today. So and then after I finish filming this I'll privately go through and bring Peter all the way through it so we can end the quest on him next video. But yeah, I got there and I was like, oh god, yes, we've never been there. So we're going to speak to this guy here at Embark Beach. I had a little speech just now about how I always tend to use this place to skip through, because this is like a feature of this area, right, to actually skip through places so you don't have to kick half of your party just to zone into Camadan. And I always end up using it, but I always wonder whether it's actually worth the time that it takes. But in any case, it gives us an excuse to come back here, because I've not really done many episodes around here at Embark Beach. But yeah, we'll speak to the Zaishin, who can give us immediate travel to anywhere we've already been. We'll go to Vabby, the Grand Court of Sebokeh. There we go. Yeah, last time I couldn't get into this loading screen because obviously Peter had never been there. So yeah, we're out here back in Vabby. And what we want to do actually is the person being attacked is Bokka, if you remember right. I think it's Bokka. Let's have a quick look here. Yes, need to clean my inventory. The betrayal, my mission maybe was at the page. Hold on, let's have a look. Maybe it's my mission. Both golems have a single purpose, assassination. Nox will kill his owner, Prince Bokka. So there you go. If you remember where Prince Bokka is, he's at the pleasure city of Makuun, or Resplendent Makuun as the map says. So we'll actually zone here, starting at Honur Hill. This is quite good really because from Honur Hill, you can actually get into the area, the pleasure city, without really having to fight anything. There's one group you might remember of like really precariously placed, God, or of like scree just sort of on the entrance, but you can actually dodge past them. Or if you want, you can just obviously flag your heroes back, and they'll stand there and fight. Yeah, these guys here. Oh no, these aren't scree. These are just these mole cool things. I never really established the difference between these guys and the scree, and it's just because they're so, well, mind you, the scree have got a lot more lore written about them. These things are just generally weird beast things that live in Vabby. We've not seen any of these in Guild Wars 2 as it's gone along, so I don't know. And yeah, you get this Paragon boss here, Mr. Darksong, what's his name? G-Shell Darksong. I mean, I don't think he ever drops anything interesting. He's probably one of those bosses that loads of people have got as green though, just because he's like such a close boss to an outpost, and so many people will fight him just on their way up to the city here. But yeah, like I said, I chose to fight them obviously there, but you can just skip past them because this quest itself actually takes place within the theatre. Do you remember the theatre where we got to watch the play in the middle of the Nightfall story? I love thinking back to that. That's actually a really notable part of the Nightfall storyline for me, sort of where we stop and we enjoy a play. And it's the story of the fall of Ascalon essentially. I mean, that's really cool. Yeah, we're going to be going back there. You might remember in Nightfall I did mention when we got to that theatre that eventually we would be coming back. Well, this is it. It's because Prince Bokka is about to be assassinated, and that's basically where the attacks takes place. I am going the right way, aren't I? I always get lost here. Always. It's just, I don't know what it is about the place. It's just easy to get lost. This surely isn't it. I know, attendance to the prince? Maybe this is it. He's got a quest. I know we didn't do all the Vabian quests, as I've mentioned many times. Is it really this guy? Yes, it is. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we're in here. He says, I hope this is important. Prince Bokka keeps me quite busy. So ask yourself if your little distractions are more important than my tasks. Prince Bokka is in grave danger. You must tell me where he is at once. Thanks for the chat, but I have to run. Danger? Ridiculous. Prince Bokka is loved by all. How ignorant can you be? Seriously, how ignorant can you be? Oh, my prince is loved by all. Nobody would ever try to assassinate him. Particularly with Prince Bokka, who's probably the easiest one to dislike out of all three. I like Meitu the most, just because he's sort of the one that's fighting, but he basically is given a shafted with a really crappy land regardless, but he continues to fight for Vabi. His story is really cool. Anyway, no one would even think of harming him. Yes, I'm sure no one would think of harming him. Now, be gone and speak no more of this supposed danger. The prince's new toy, Nox, is programmed to assassinate him. Take me to Bokka before it's too late. Yes, please take me. You mean that golem that arrived this morning? Preposterous! It came from a most reputable source, the great Asuran inventor Zin. I love this line because it kind of makes me think that Zin came and sold the golem, or the golem went off, and I can just so imagine Zin sort of saying, oh, I am the greatest inventor, and like these foolish Vabians who don't know the Asura, who don't know any better, just sort of believing him, being like, oh yeah, okay. Well, actually, that's quite interesting. I wonder if maybe there have been Asura dotted over the past, sort of coming, because they live underground, right? So who's to say they don't live under Elona as well, and under Cantha? Maybe every now and then they do pop up, and there are a few Elonians who are familiar with the race of the Asura. We just don't know, do we? Anyway, so Zin sent me to protect Prince Bokka. Take me to him now, unless you want to be blamed for his death. Alright, I'll take you to Bokka. Are you ready to leave? This is brilliant. This is like in factions. How many do we get? We get 1, 2, 3, 4 things to click through. It's brilliant. I think ArenaNet must have done it on purpose. By this time they knew how much players hated seeing this, having to click through so many of these. But okay, so we're ready. Let's go. Into the Bokka Amphitheatre. This is the one that's basically just an entire fight. Basically with the 3 things. So Bokka says, oh, I may as well actually start fighting before just rambling. Bokka's there, you'll see over there, and he runs off, and you got to go in and intercept NOX. So yeah, basically the 3 golems that you fight in this quest chain is quite cool if you ask me. The way they seem to have done it is, you've got one where you have a bit of a mission to go through first, and that is, and then a boss at the end, and that's the one in Keiran Center. You've got one where you've got a bit of a defense and a lot of fighting to do first, and that's the one at the Temple of the Aegis. And then you've got this one which is literally all about the boss fight, no stuff in the middle. And that essentially means that this boss fight is so much harder. I remember when these quests came out, so many people, I think even with Nicholas the Traveller sometimes going and collecting items there, the most people I've ever seen at Honur Hill was when this quest chain came out, because nobody could beat, well, people obviously could, but people were finding it so hard to beat this guy. So hard. He's got like the 3rd highest or 2nd highest health of anything in the entire game. He's got a ridiculous amount of health. I don't know whether anything sort of surpassed him in the later parts of the War in Kryta and so forth that came out, but he's got a lot of health. We're using my super OP Underworld build here, and he's still taking a while to go down. Obviously Doom was added after him, actually, speaking of that. Doom's got more health than him. But yeah, and this was a really hard fight. You see these little bit golems that are spawning around here? Basically he's got 3 stages. He's quite an interesting boss because he's actually got a lot of different skills as well. Like, there's all these different skills that he can use. Like, he's got 3 stages, and in each stage he has like 5 different skills he can potentially use, which means he's like one of these characters that in a way I guess has got more than 8 skills, and I think he does remain the one with the most skills in the entire game. But basically you get these stages depending on how much health he's got. For the first stage it's just quite simple. These little bit golems will spawn around him, and if you walk near the bit golems, in fact if we're still in the first stage, we're probably not, but I'll try and do it. If you stand near the bit golems, they do AoE, I think. No, we're definitely on the 2nd stage. So the first stage, these things just spawn all over the place. You can see on my mini-map here, there's quite a few. Basically, they'll cast AoE things in the first stage. And in the 2nd stage, they'll start using abilities which buff NOX's abilities. If we weren't using a Soul Twister or super overpowered stuff, you'd just be seeing he would be so powerful if you don't take out these bit golems. It used to be, when it first came out, at the very least, that NOX's spells would be so powerful they could just one-hit anything they want. He would just pick a target and bang, they'd just be dead. It was brilliant. And he would be a really it would be a really big challenge to take him out and fight him. The 3rd stage, which we're not actually into, I don't think yet. Don't forget, you don't kill the golems, you just take them down to a really low threshold of health. The 3rd stage starts when he's just below like 50%, I believe, And that will change these bit golems as soon as that third stage launches. You can see there's a fair few, like there's a single bit golem there next to us. They're dying though, obviously, because we're using Signet of Spirits and stuff that are taking them out. But basically, when this first came out, these things would, because this guy's got so much health, they'd slowly spawn more and more and more and more around, of them around this whole place, until eventually your entire team was just completely surrounded by them. And then when this guy goes into his third stage, which I think he may have just done, all of them instantly in the exact same moment all blow up. They just absolutely all here we go. So yeah, this is the third stage here, and they all blow up and just absolutely destroy everything around them, which could insta wipe teams, which was also really cool. But obviously we're doing so much damage to them and taking them out so quickly here, that's not been an actual threat. Even if we hadn't with the Soul Twister, it wouldn't have been a big problem. And now when they come down, they also instantly blow up, so they can be a little bit of a threat. You'll see that happening off in the distance there. And that's basically the fight. He uses different skills at different times. The skills aren't amazingly interesting. There is obviously the dialogue, which I haven't read. NOX says target escaping, activate reinforcements, remove hostiles. So they're trying to take us out. Bokka says women and princes first. No, wrong. Princes first. Oh, you're so lovable, Bokka. Damage exceeds expected results. Disengage limiter, increase core output. So there you go. I don't think he says anything else after this. And you just keep hanging on, keep hammering into him. It occurs to me now that this video is really not going to be that long at all, funnily enough, because he's just... Oh man, this used to take a lot longer to fight him. It really was one of these fights that really gets your blood pumping. And I remember the first time I beat it, we were just hanging on by a thread. Like in stage 2, he'd knocked out like both of our backline players, and we couldn't res in time. It was just so much fun playing this. Just so cool. But yeah, he's got some cool skills. Nox is targeting you if he does different stuff like this. But there you go, down Nox goes, NOX goes. If you're playing along with me, do please listen to what I'm saying. He is quite a hard boss, so do come prepared. I know I might have made that look a little bit easy, but it's really not as easy as you might imagine. So there you go, NOX. I'm going to read it out for the third time, just because I can. NOX appears fully deactivated. You reach out and open up his control panel. Inside lies the Golem's power crystal. It emits a strange buzzing sound and vibrates erratically, almost as if something is trying to escape. This is the object Zin requires. You only need reach out and take it. So there we go. Awesome. So there we go. That's all 3 power cores done. Now, my original plan for the video was I was just immediately then going to go on and continue it and hopefully finish off this quest chain. However, because Peter Redhill's not actually, he's got to get all the way to Vabi, which is what I'll be doing after filming this. So we'll actually end this video here, guys, and we'll check out that next bit of dialogue between Gwen and Keiran, and that'll probably be where we call it. So I'll see you on Tom again in a second. My God, that's 2 videos in a row where we won't have seen Peter. I hope he's not feeling a little bit neglected. Here we go, back out into the Hall of Monuments. How you doing, Gwen? So yeah, remember what I said at the start. Imagine that it's been like a week or 2 past, and now finally he's back, and look, he's crippled. He's crippled, but I think he's actually still moving. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe he is moving. He's definitely not moving at crippled speed. I don't think he is, but there we go. Keiran, Lieutenant Thackeray, your patrol was due back days ago. I was concerned. Yeah, we were all concerned. It had been ages since we'd had an update. But finally he arrives. Crippled. We just got in. The Char ambushed us at the Biora Marches. Oh dear. So they didn't even get that far. The Biora Marches, bear in mind, is not that far away. By Lissa, you're wounded. Well, I guess in story terms, maybe it's a pretty damn long way. 2 weeks, right? From here to the Biora Marches. That's a pretty good indication of the kind of scale that's in this game. Oh god, I probably shouldn't have done that. They killed Demo, Vickers, Finn. Only 3 of us survived the ambush. Oh dear. Spent the last 2 days injured, hunted by Char trackers. And the only thing that kept me alive was the thought that I would see home again. Home, Gwen. Not the Eye of the North, not a dream of Ascalon, but the place where you feel safe and loved. Here, with you, I found a home again. Okay, you've clearly sustained a head injury. Oh, why can't you appreciate the romance, damn it? I'm sorry, I misspoke. Forgive me, I'm tired. I'll get a healer. You need to rest. No, not yet. I have a responsibility to inform the families of the slain. Oh, damn. Keiran, really? You got to do that before you're even recovered? Keiran, I'm sorry for your loss. And for what it's worth, welcome home. Oh, the drama. And off he goes, crippled. Brilliant. I think it's the next dialogue, actually, that was skipped to last video that I had to all cut out because it was completely ruined for us. But yeah, so there you go. What a trooper. You alright, Gwen? He's a bit damaged. I don't know whether I like that we never meet these nameless characters that sort of die off screen. Maybe, I'm pretty sure we don't ever meet them at any point, but they do end up dying off there. We do meet a fair few of the Even Falcons, though. Don't forget that's what his group's called, the Even Falcons, just a very small splinter faction of the Even Vanguard, who themselves are a splinter faction of the personal troops that Prince Rurik owned, who we were a member of way back at the start of Prophecies before Rurik died, and they were all recalled, and Adalbern sent what was left of them north into Char homeland territory. So, so yeah, that's who the Even Falcons are. We will be meeting some more of those, presumably not the ones that had died. So there you go, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Next time, Peter should be all up to scratch. We will have whipped him into shape, and we'll see what we can do for the end of this this MOX quest. Since we've now got all 3 power cores, the only thing that remains is finding the secret lair. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. See you next time, guys.